Hey guys, it's Migs here, and today, you know, this thing, right? This song that I made. I actually made a thumbnail for it, but it didn't really. I didn't really make it into a full video. It didn't really. Even if I recorded even if I put like the entire audio and recorded it for like a whole minute, it was still short, so I didn't have a used opportunity to, use the thumbnail created. So this is a bit weird, but here it is. It's sort of like the boy kisser meme, but with me. So I might voice it. You like extraterrestrials, don't you? Okay, this is really stupid, but I just made this for fun. Plus, the boy kisser meme is really, really famous nowadays, so I just made it. Because I wanted to have a tribute, but that doesn't make me gay, does it? I don't like being gay. But still, I just like the meme. The meme's kinda, strange actually. For me, the meme is strange, but I still kinda like it in some way. I mean, I don't support gay people, but that's fine. But still, guys, you know. Also, yeah, I was gonna make a meme animation, but then I got lazy, so I stopped. And yeah, here's my OC's new rig. Yeah, head and hair, eyes and mouth. Yeah, I added new ones, such as the glow, angry glow, and then like crying eyes, as well as like this. This is like the sad SpongeBob meme. This is like the sad SpongeBob meme. You know, the one that was like boom, like that. So I made this. These are the eyes. These are like based off of the sad SpongeBob eyes, and then this mouth is for that. Is like is to match those eyes. So yeah, and the weapons. And as you can see, I added a new shotgun. I added a chainsaw. I made the axe look different. I added a bomb. I added a sword and the katana because knows how to use swords and katanas. He actually stole a katana from an anime dweeb and then legit used it. He didn't use it on any people though. He just used it as a sort of display. He still kind of has it. The anime dweeb just doesn't know. The anime dweeb is still trying to find the the katana, the lost katana. So, I actually made some new backstories for my OC. So, I've actually made two, new backstories. So this is so this is basically, this is basically me gonna be explaining the new one, which is the first one, which is a new version of the Mig's backstory. So, Migs actually originated from Canada, but since Canada has labs, but they haven't really like Canada does have labs, but the Philippines also does. So yeah, he actually originated in Canada, and then what happens is that it goes like this. So one night on a Canadian Monday, there was like a meteor coming down from space. There was a scientist. Um, there was a scientist whose name was there was a scientist who went by the name of Gerald. He's a male scientist. He was actually the scientist that took care of me. Oh gosh, I accident. So, what happens is that when Gerald heard about the news of an incoming meteor landing nearby, he saw it on the TV inside his lab, and then he was like, oh shoot, there's a freaking meteor. Oh shoot, there's a meteor. And then he heard like a large explosion nearby, and then he found out the meteor literally landed near his lab. It was not that far. It was like 30 meters, 30 steps away. He went towards it. The meteor started cracking, and then it started cracking, and then the cracks began to like glow, and then beams of light came out the meteor before the meteor uh self-destructed. But instead of it like exploding all over the place, it just disappeared. All was left was a small 4'11" small 4'11" creature that looked like an 11-year-old child. The thing slowly got up weakly, and then the thing got up slowly as if it was injured or weak. Sorry, my mom is going to a ceremony.
No, I'm just gonna
Yeah, I know.
set up the...
Yeah, she's gonna set up something soon. Yeah. So, what happens next is that the thing began standing up slowly, and then it opened its eyes. The thing was grotesquely tall. It was not actually 4'11", like 4'11". It wasn't 4'11". It was like as tall as like the average height of a U.S. male. Actually, taller than that. I think as tall as a short, little tree. And then it stared at the scientist. The scientist freaked out, but then it opened its eyes. Its eyes were literally just glowing, and then it stared at the scientist. It crouched down and then spoke in a deep, horrifying voice. It said, "Who are you?" I mean, it asked who the scientist was. I'm Gerald. What about you? What's your name, big guy? Said the scientist. You really want to know my name? Well, my name is Migs. I came here because I accidentally got trapped in the meteorite and kicked off by one of my aliens. So I got trapped in the meteorite and got kicked off by one of the kings of my planet because I was disobeying their rules because I kept doing things that were against their law," said the alien. The thing said, the alien then asked them, "Seems like you're a scientist. Could you at least, take me to your lab? I really don't want to be out here. It's kind of cold to my alien skin." The scientist said, sure. Let's go inside." Gerald held the thing's hand and they both walked off. You're quite the big guy. How are you this big?" said the scientist to the alien as they walked. "Also, it's kinda weird how you're literally so big and you're still so nice to human beings." The alien spoke, saying, "It said that it's been watching humanity using a satellite from space, and it did not have a UFO to travel to the human world. The reason why Miggs was kicked off his planet was that he was not talking in the casual alien language. He wasn't and he wasn't obeying the rules either. He was trying to act like an actual human. So one of the kings got so pissed off, they kicked Migs off the planet. Also, yeah, there are 3 kings on Mig's planet. There's like 3 of them. Can't say their name because, might be a bit too weird. But look, so they walked back to the lab. The next day, they, the next day, he woke up. The next day, Gerald woke up to find Miggs standing over his bed. Miggs was also holding something in his hand. It looked like a plate. Miggs also seemed to be shorter, and his skin was less of that of an alien. His eyes were also less. His eyes were also less human-like, and they were more They were more oval-like. They were completely black. He spoke in a more he spoke, and his voice sounded less deep and started sounding more like an 11-year-old. He said, "Yo, dude, I made you some breakfast." He looked on the plate to see a raw steak and some rice. He's like, "Oh, that's nice. Let's go eat at the table." Mig said, "Nah, it's okay. Just don't go to the kitchen. I think I made a bit of a mess." So he's like, "Why? What's wrong? What did you do? Was there a spill?" And he's like, "No, it's worse." Turns out when he went into the kitchen, he saw a dead bird on the ground. It had a bite mark on it. He said, "Migs, did you do that?" It's like, and then Migs was like, "Yeah, I got a bit hungry, so a bird came in your room, so I ate it for literally no reason. I mean, I was hungry, so I ate it." It's like, I think I saw it trying to peck one of your test tubes that had a corrosive liquid inside. The scientist went, "Well, okay, but just don't do that again. That's not nice. That's not nice to nature." Said, Mig says, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I have a predatorial instinct. My planet makes me hunt constantly for food. Food. The food on my planet is not like on this planet." They went to go greet the other scientists. Miggs was extremely nice to the scientists, but he actually had a crush on one of them. Even though he literally looks like an 11-year-old, he's actually centuries old. He's like he was born in 2012. He arrived on Earth by 2016, so he was like, actually no, wait. So, Miggs is kind. Miggs, the kind, the species of Miggs was actually created back in 1996, and they grow really fast. So that's how they, it's how they're much older than humans. So he had a crush on one of them. He was staring at one of them, which was a pretty woman. The name tag said her name was Alyssa. He said, "Hey, yo, Gerald, I think I have a crush on one of the scientists here." Gerald was like, "Oh, that's sweet. But wait, aren't you 11 years old?" It's like, Meg said, "What? Dude, I'm not 11 years old. I'm literally older than mankind itself. I was created back in 1966. My species was born in 1966. It's like, oh, that's surprising. Never knew that. So, they went to go greet one of the scientists. They caught up to us. They met Gerald's friend named Harold. Um, Gerald saw Miggs and like made a sort of joke about him having a son, although he is not like a father yet. It's like, yo, bro, did you get a son? And then Gerald was like, yeah, this is technically my son, because I took him home one night. He was inside a meteor. He was actually from outer space. And then Harold was like, oh, so he's an alien? Seems like you married him, eh? Seems like you married some sort of alien. And then Miggs was like, hey, would you quit it? And then he's like, hey, would you quit it, man? If you don't quit it, I'm about to bite your face off. And then Harold was like, well, he was a feisty guy. Sorry about that, little man. And then Harold was like, Miggs, you should always have respect in those who... Wait, oh yeah, I forgot you're literally older than mankind itself. He's like, yeah, that's right, you better remember that. But still, sorry for being disrespectful. I was just a bit pissed on how he kept making jokes about me being your son. He's like, you are my son, dunderhead. Peanut-brained alien. He's like, hey, don't you call me that, bro. Alright, fine, I won't call you that anymore. So the next day, Miggs randomly wandered away from the lab. Gerald caught up to him and then was like, Miggs, where are you going? It's like, I'm sorry, bro. I think I might want to go to a new country. And then Gerald was like, oh, that's okay, but you know, but you have to take a plane to go to another country. Oh, but I have enough money for that. So where do you want to go? So he said, well, I want to go to the Philippines. I want to see how cool that country is. So they went to the Philippines in a plane, and then when they arrived there, Miggs, I'll miss you, bud. And then said Gerald. Miggs said, I'll miss you too, bud. So Gerald paid for another plane to go back to his home country, because he actually was needed, since he's the only one who knows how to create cures for viruses in Canada. Miggs was there, just sitting there, looking at the plane flying back into the air. It soon disappeared into the clouds. Miggs calmly walked through the entirety of the airport until he came across the exit. Miggs slowly walked out. It was still a long way to go till he got to the city he wanted to be in. So, what he did, he scurried. He grew four dark spider legs and started scurrying along the road, because it would take too long to walk down the road using his actual legs. So he was just walking there and he was bored. But then when he started seeing civilization, he hurled back absorbed his spider legs back into his body, and took a more childlike shape. He slowly walked amongst the crowd of people. What happened is that eventually he got to Mandaluyong by running. It was a long journey, but Miggs didn't really need sleep, since he has already had quite a slumber for 3 years. he was actually falling from like far away from like a different planet, so he was able to sleep in the meteor. It took 3 years for the meteor to get down to Earth. So yeah, and yeah, I'm gonna make a part 2 about this, so don't worry. Bye guys.